You're pathetic. Olivia's voice was sharp, her hands clamped down on my shoulders as we stood alone at the top of the hospital stairwell. Mom and Dad won't believe a word you say. My name is Emma Sullivan. I'm 24. And right then, I was looking up at my 28-year-old sister, her eyes filled with that all-too-familiar disdain. We were supposed to be visiting our grandmother after her surgery, but instead, Olivia had led me away from the hospital room and backed me into the stairwell, where she thought no one would be watching. "Step aside, Olivia," I told her firmly, trying to move past her. "Grandma's expecting us." She let out a cold, familiar laugh, the one I'd heard all my life. "Always the angelic granddaughter, aren't you? Bringing gifts, showing up every day like some kind of saint, making the rest of us look bad." "This isn't about you," I replied, doing my best to keep my tone calm. "This is about Grandma." Her expression darkened. "No, Emma. Everything's always about you. Little Miss Perfect. The smart one. The kind one. The one who does no wrong." Her grip tightened until it hurt. "I've had enough." I saw it coming, but I couldn't move fast enough. She shoved me hard. The staircase became a blur. My body hit every step on the way down. Pain lit up every part of me. By the time I landed on the middle platform, I could barely breathe. Through my hazy vision, I watched Olivia come down the stairs, but not to help. She was frantically unlocking her phone, already dialing. "Mom, Dad, hurry!" Emma fell. I tried to catch her, but she slipped too fast. I wanted to speak, to cry out the truth, but the pain in my chest made it impossible to get the words out. Moments later, the stairwell door flew open. My parents rushed in, eyes wide. "Oh my God, Emma!" My mother cried, but she ran straight to Olivia, wrapping her in a hug. "You poor girl. That must have been terrifying," she whispered to her, brushing her hair back with shaking hands. My father knelt beside me, his mouth set in a grim line. "What were you doing, Emma?" Racing on the stairs like a child, I gasped through the pain. "I didn't run. Olivia pushed me." "Stop!" Olivia interrupted, tears flowing down her cheeks in perfect timing. "I try to save you, Emma. How can you lie like this after everything?" My mother's expression turned hard. "Enough, Emma. Your sister's in shock. Don't add to it with your stories." Just then, another figure entered. A tall woman in scrubs with a name tag that read Nurse Martinez. She quickly knelt beside me. "What happened?" she asked sharply. Before anyone could answer, a younger nurse came running in, holding a tablet with a pale expression. "You need to see this," she said, handing it to Martinez. "Now's not the time," my mom snapped. "Our daughter had an accident." Her sister tried to help her, but Martinez's eyes didn't leave the screen. She glanced from the footage to Olivia. Her entire demeanor shifted. "Mr. and Mrs. Sullivan, please step back. We need to assess your daughter immediately." Her voice left no room for argument. As the medical staff carefully moved in, I heard her speaking quietly on the phone. "Security, pull the last 10 minutes of footage from Stairwell B. Send it straight to Dr. Kane and notify admin." Olivia's face turned pale. "Footage," she whispered. That's when everyone looked up, toward the small red blinking light in the corner of the stairwell. A security camera. It had recorded everything. "Standard protocol," Nurse Martinez said calmly. "All stairwells are monitored for safety." "This is a private family matter," my dad began. She turned to him with a steely look. "What I just saw on that camera isn't a family matter. It's a criminal offense." Olivia's tears vanished in an instant. "You can't prove anything." "Camera footage doesn't lie," Martinez said. "Unlike some people." As they lifted me onto a stretcher, I watched Olivia's flawless act begin to fall apart. My parents stood motionless, the illusion they'd clung to for years starting to unravel. Nurse Martinez leaned close to me as we rolled down the hall. "You're safe now," she said gently. "They won't cover this up. Not this time." For the first time in a long while, I believed her. But as the ER doors opened ahead of us, I turned my head just enough to see Olivia's face one last time. This wasn't finished. Not even close. The camera had exposed what she did, but it was only the start of what it would reveal about the dark truths buried inside our family. The emergency room buzzed with activity. X-rays confirmed 2 fractured ribs, a sprained wrist, and deep bruises across my body. While the doctors worked, I could hear my parents arguing in the hallway. "This is absurd," my father's voice boomed. "They want to interrogate our daughter like she's a suspect." "Your other daughter shoved her sister down the stairs," Martinez responded calmly. "And the police are already on their way." "It was an accident," my mother insisted. "This should be resolved within the family." From behind the curtain, I saw Martinez step closer. "Mrs. Sullivan," she said, "we've already reviewed recordings from earlier visits. This isn't the first time something's happened in these stairwells." Silence fell. My stomach turned. They'd seen the other footage. 3 months ago, Olivia had slammed me into the wall outside Grandma's hospital room. 2 months before that, she'd accidentally tripped me near the vending machines. Every incident had been brushed off. My parents always nearby, always protecting her, always blaming me. Dr. Kane, the physician overseeing my case, pulled the curtain closed around me. "Emma," she said softly, "we need to go over your past visits." I stared down at my lap. "I'm just clumsy." Her voice was gentle but firm. 6 injuries in 12 months. Every time your sister was there. And every time, the blame somehow landed on you. Tears burned down my cheeks. "You don't understand. My parents." "They're not in charge anymore," she interrupted. "You're an adult now. And we're mandatory reporters. This ends today." Soon after, a detective arrived, a woman named Morris. Her voice was calm, her questions precise. She listened as I spoke, her pen moving steadily across her notebook. "Has your sister always been aggressive?" I paused. "It got worse after Grandma changed her will." "She changed it?" "Yeah. She decided to leave her house to me instead of Olivia. I worked from home. I could care for her full time. It made sense." I let out a bitter laugh. But Olivia didn't take it well. From the hallway, I could hear Olivia's shrill voice growing louder. "This is madness!" Olivia cried. "Emma's always been jealous of me. She's turning everyone against me." Detective Morris paused her writing, lifting her eyes from her notepad. "Your grandmother's home, what's its value?" "About $1.2 million, Olivia said reluctantly. "It's located in the historic neighborhood." Morris raised her eyebrows slightly. "That's a significant motive." Just then, my phone buzzed with a message from an unfamiliar number. An attached video file appeared, followed by a short message. "Thought this might help. Jake, hospital security." I tapped the screen. The video began to play. There was Olivia, alone in the stairwell, recorded about an hour before the attack. She was on the phone, pacing. "I don't care what I have to do," her voice rang out, crisp and clear. "Once Grandma's gone, that house is mine. Emma won't be in the way much longer. Just one more little accident should convince her to give up her claim." Detective Morris leaned over to view the screen. Her face grew hard. "This changes everything," she said coldly. "This wasn't just an impulsive act. It was calculated." Suddenly, Ray's voices drew our attention. Commotion echoed down the hallway. To our astonishment, Grandma appeared, slowly making her way into the room in her hospital gown, supported by Dr. Kane. "I need to see my granddaughter," she announced, her voice filled with the kind of firm authority no one ever dared challenge. Not even my parents. As soon as she laid eyes on me in the hospital bed, she turned toward my mother and father. "How long have you two been protecting Olivia?" "Mother," my mom began nervously, but Grandma raised a hand, silencing her. "I've stood by and watched you brush aside Emma's injuries for years," she said, her voice unshakable. "I stayed quiet, hoping you'd finally open your eyes. But now," she motioned to the video still playing on the detective's tablet, "this ends today." Olivia stepped forward, her face the perfect picture of wounded innocence. "Grandma, you don't understand." "I understand completely," Grandma snapped. "I see very clearly that greed and envy have mattered more to you than your own family. And I see that your parents have allowed this to grow into something far worse. You could have killed her." "Murder?" my father sputtered. "That's going too far." Detective Morris cleared her throat. "Actually, given the evidence of pre-planning and the severity of the fall, attempted murder is a very real possibility, sir." Olivia's composed facade shattered in an instant. Her face twisted with fury as she pointed at me. "This is all your fault. You ruined everything." 2 uniformed officers entered the room with handcuffs in hand. As they approached, Olivia's expression finally changed, not to anger but fear. A kind of fear I recognized well. It had lived inside me for years. As the police led her away, Grandma sat beside me and gently took my hand. I should have done something sooner, sweetheart. I'm so sorry. But we both knew this wasn't truly over. Not yet. Later, as I was wheeled off for more scans, I looked back through the hallway and caught sight of my parents huddled close, their carefully crafted illusion collapsing around them. That little red camera in the stairwell hadn't just caught a single act of violence, it had recorded years of buried pain. And now, the truth was finally pouring into the light. 6 months later, I stood outside the house that once belonged to my grandmother, now legally mine, as the morning sun warmed the intricate details of its Victorian architecture. My bruises had long faded, but the transformation inside me remained. Stronger, wiser, free. Olivia had accepted a plea deal, 2 years in prison with mandatory therapy. My parents, after being confronted with overwhelming evidence of their years of denial, had been ordered to attend family counseling. They hadn't spoken to me since that day in the hospital, only through their lawyer. "Tea's ready," Grandma's voice called from the wide porch. She had moved in with me during my recovery and eventually decided to stay. Her surgery had gone well, and together we had turned the old house into a place of warmth and belonging. As I joined her on the porch, a car pulled into the driveway. Out stepped Nurse Sarah Martinez, balancing a box of fresh scones from our favorite bakery near the hospital. "How's my favorite former patient?" she called out with a grin, climbing the steps. Since that day at the hospital, Sarah had become more than just the nurse who protected me. She'd become a true friend, part of the family I had chosen for myself. "Feeling better every day," I replied, helping her with the box. "Therapy's really helping." We settled into our usual Sunday ritual, tea, scones, and quiet conversation beneath the porch's shadow. It had become a kind of weekly therapy, all on its own. "Have you heard from them?" Sarah asked gently, mindful of the emotional weight behind her question. I nodded. "Mom emailed yesterday. They want to meet. To talk." Grandma's teacup clinked against its saucer. "And what did you say?" I said yes, but on my terms. At Dr. Thompson's office. With her present. Dr. Thompson, my therapist, had taught me something life-changing. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means protecting yourself while finding peace. It means boundaries. Olivia's been writing too, I added softly. From prison. I haven't opened any of the letters yet. Sarah reached out and gave my hand a reassuring squeeze. "You don't have to. Not until you're ready." A small stack of unopened envelopes sat in my desk drawer. Each one reminded me of how far I'd come and how much farther I still had to go. The following week, I walked into Dr. Thompson's office feeling stronger than I ever had before. My parents were already seated on the couch. They looked smaller somehow, diminished. My mother's voice trembled. "Emma, we've been doing a lot of work. In therapy. Looking at what we ignored. What we allowed. Dad couldn't even meet my eyes. We failed you. We believed what was convenient, not what was right." I met their words with quiet resolve. "Yes, you did. We want to make things right," my mom said. "We want to be part of your life again." I drew a deep breath. "That's possible. But it will be different now. I'm not that scared girl anymore, hoping you'll believe me someday. I have boundaries. Expectations." Dr. Thompson nodded silently as I continued. "I won't sweep the past under the rug. I won't play pretend at birthdays and holidays like nothing ever happened. If you want a place in my life, you need to accept the past. All of it. And show you're willing to change." My father finally looked up. "And what about Olivia? When she gets out?" "That's not my responsibility," I said, voice steady. "My safety comes first. If she truly changes, does the work, gets the help, maybe someday we can talk. But I'm not making promises." That evening, after returning home, I opened the top letter from Olivia. Her words surprised me. No manipulations. No excuses. Just raw honesty. I never thought of myself as the villain. I let jealousy and entitlement control me. I convinced myself you deserved it. I'm not asking you to forgive me or even talk to me. I just want you to know. I see it now, and I'll spend the rest of my life trying to be better. Standing once again on the porch where my new life had begun, I watched the sunset stretch across the sky in gentle strokes of orange and gold. Sarah's voice from the hospital echoed in my mind. "You're safe now." And she had been right. That camera didn't just expose the violence. It marked the moment I broke free from the fear, the silence, the lies. Grandma joined me with 2 cups of tea. "Proud of you, sweetheart." I smiled, accepting the cup. "You know what? I'm proud of me, too." The house stood behind us like a sentinel, not a reminder of pain, but a symbol of healing and strength. The stairwell camera had captured everything, but more than that, it had captured my turning point. Sometimes, the family you need isn't the one you're born into. It's the one you choose, from the pieces of what once broke you. And that's the thing about hitting rock bottom. Once you're there, there's only one direction left to go.